All right, so here we go, RDX. I've literally driven it around the track maybe twice. And straight away, I feel really confident with it. You've got to remember this is box fresh. This is all completely as the booklet said, no changes at all. So first impressions of the RDX as a chassis to drive. I've put all my bits into it. So I've got a ReveD servo, it's got a Yokomo V4 gyro, it's got an Accuvance Rad ESC, Hobbywing D10 motor, and I'm actually running this on Velinos, which I know is not right because you can't change the camber at the back. So anyone who runs the ReveD RDX chassis tends to run something with a curve to the tyre, whereas these are flat tyres. So that might impact it slightly, I suppose. But I wanted a fair comparison when I compare this to my YD2, which is in my next video. And therefore, I just put them on for now, just to see what it drives like. All the dampers and everything, I've literally not set anything up. I've just set the chassis up and put all the springs to a sensible setting. You know, they're quite soft. And it's sitting quite high actually. The chassis is quite high off the ground. I'm not used to that. And yeah, let's see how it goes. This is a new little layout we were playing around with. It's a bit more challenging. It didn't like to tighten up then, it didn't like to come round, that's interesting. So does it struggle with hairpins? I'm not sure, maybe I needed to give it more throttle. Oh, it's just so smooth. I'm so impressed off the bat how easy that is to drive. Compared to other chassis I've driven which are factory fresh. I need a little bit less gyro, I think. A little factory fresh. Yeah, this is great, absolutely great. So, I have to say, off the back of this video, it's been a really interesting process to build an RDX. Does it live up to the hype? I do think it's a good chassis. I do think it's certainly, if you were a starter getting into this hobby, to say that this is now my 4th chassis I've been through and tuned and spent a lot of money on chassis, to say this literally just comes straight out of the box and is better than other chassis that I've driven which have been tuned is pretty amazing, really. You know, I spent so long tuning a D4. My D5 is pretty highly tuned. I love my D5 actually. I should do a comparison to my D5. And then my YD2, which is in the next video, I'll do a comparison of my YD2 versus the RDX and my thoughts and feelings between the two. But certainly for a car straight off the bat, straight out of the box, to say that you're going to make adjustments and improvements, I'm sure, as time goes on. That's an absolutely fantastic starting point. I would definitely think that if I were new to the hobby and someone said, what chassis would you buy? I would buy an RDX. You can surely progress onto the more expensive chassis like the GARMs and all sorts of stuff if you really wanted to, but actually, straight out of the bat, this will get you going. It will get you into a position where you can be in trains with people and keeping up with cars that are twice as expensive, 3 times as expensive. So my definite recommendation off that is if you're a starter person, buy an RDX. If you're a person who's spent a lot of money on a chassis and you're wondering about the comparison, then watch the next video. Let's see how they compare. And I'll also compare it in the next video when I compare against the YD2. I'll put some shots in as well of me drifting at the club when there's other people driving too, so we can see how the car rolls. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the build video. And I hope you enjoyed this, albeit short, driving video of the RDX. Definitely think it's a great chassis. Definitely think you should consider it. And if you're a new driver, that's a no-brainer in my eyes. But well done, ReveD. I think you've changed the market. You've changed the market. Thanks for watching. Cheers.